This is your handover video for the Platinum. So I'm going to start with the driver's side of the vehicle. I'm going to take you down and show you all the compartments. Okay, so the first one we come to then is the toilet cassette. So there's a little small fold-away key. This will open every compartment on the outside of the vehicle. So this will be the one to open your toilet cassette. So first thing we do, orange handle, lift it up and pull out. Okay, so to empty your tank then, you have a button at the back here to relieve the pressure in the tank, and then just swivel the nozzle out, unscrew, and then you just tip that down the black water disposal at the campsite. Seal that back up. To wash the tank out then, pull the wee grey flap forward and just use the wee orange button there to open, and that will allow you to wash the tank out. So when you're done then, just a little bit of toilet chemical and leave some water at the bottom of it, okay? So we do ask that you clean this out for us on return, just for health and safety reasons. And then when you're done, pop it back in and then just make sure it's secure. Okay, so just below that, you'll see a little sticker here that says wastewater disposal. This is where all the water will be stored from your sink and your shower. So as your freshwater level is coming down, your dirty water is filling up at the same time. So when you top up your fresh, you need to empty your dirty. Very, very simple. Just turn the tap and let it drain out. Again, most campsites will have somewhere to do that as well. So you don't need to worry about the blue tap there. The next one here is your electric hookup point. So this is where you'll plug in whenever you are at a campsite, okay? So just lift up and then plug your cable in there. So we'll provide you with the cable to do that and then plug it in at the campsite. So just around the back of the vehicle then, first little compartment on this side is your fresh water refill. So we'll fill the van with fresh water for you during your travels, and you can keep a wee eye on your gauge inside. If you see that coming down, then this is where you'll go to fill it up. So just in case of lifting that up, and then in the vehicle, there will be a hose provided for you to do that. Okay, second compartment then, again, back to the little key, the back here. This will just give you access into the rear of the vehicle and below the bed. Okay, so in here you will find a bucket. And in your bucket, you've got your electric hookup cable and your hose, and there is a UK plug adapter there as well if you need it. So, and again, there's a little bit of storage under there, which is handy. So we do recommend you keep all the outer compartments closed, just so nobody can break into them. Bike rack then, very, very simple to use this bike rack. Just make sure everything's out of the way and it just drops down. You can clip your bikes on there, just little ratchet straps, push the wee red bit in and feed the cable through. And then it works the same for the arm extensions. When you're done, back up and then just pull those down to hold it in place. So the last part of the back of the vehicle then is just your rear view camera, okay? Round to the passenger side, then we have your gas locker. Again, back to the little fold-away key. Whenever you get parked up, we recommend that you just come and switch both tanks on, okay? It just means if one's running low or runs out, then it'll automatically piggyback off the second one. There's little gauges on the top there. They will show you an indication of how full your tank is. And on the off chance that you are away and you do need gas, then this is where you would fill it up. Just you need to Google where you are for an LPG station, and then you just pump it into this and your wee gauges will go back up to green again. So the tanks themselves, say both will be full when you're leaving here. You don't need to worry about refilling them, okay? They do go against the norm when it comes to on and off. So you turn it clockwise off and anti-clockwise to turn it on. And again, when you're traveling, they must be switched off. Okay. Couple of wee compartments there. That's just a little 3-pin plug socket outside and a TV point outside as well, and you have a gas barbecue point there too. Hab door. And the last compartment then is your fuel. Okay, so this is your diesel. It'll come with a full tank. Whenever you're coming back, just top it up again for us. And again, just the main vehicle key. Just unlock that and then pump it in. There's a full tank of AdBlue in the vehicle as well. You don't need to worry about that. So, interior of the driver's cab of the vehicle. Start with the door. You have your buttons there for your windows and you have your control switch there for the wing mirrors. So you can do top, bottom, left and right all from this side. Steering wheel multifunction, nothing too complicated. Wipers and indicators there as well. And you have an automatic gearbox in this vehicle. So gearbox, if you've never driven an automatic before, the gearbox will not come out of gear unless your foot is on the brake. And your key will never come out of the ignition unless you put that back into park. Okay. Just a wee tip for nighttime when you are going to bed, don't use the key to lock the vehicle. You'll trigger all the internal sensors and the alarm will start screaming in the middle of the night if you get up to use the bathroom. You just use the little lock button here. Okay, so touchscreen head unit there. You can connect your phone just with the wee USB points there, and your Apple CarPlay or your Android Auto should show up there. Rear view camera up here as well. And then there's just a couple of little stickers there for some important information before you drive it off. Front blinds of this vehicle, very simple to use. Clip, unclip them, and then just pull them across. They will meet in the middle there with a magnet. There's a little shorter bit will come out and meet in the middle there. Okay, so these are like paper, so just be very gentle with them. And then during the day, clip them back in. Same with the driver's and passenger sides. Again, very flimsy, so just be gentle with them, and they just clip into place there as well. Handbrake on this vehicle is down to the right-hand side of the driver's seat, so just in case you don't see anything in the middle, that is where it is. So just in the rear of this vehicle then, I'm going to take you around and show you everything. This vehicle is lovely. Nice dark wood interior and all your furnishings with a nice accent of dark red in them, so it's really, really tidy looking. So cupboards. To open the cupboards then, just pull the buttons down. So generally around the front area of the vehicle, left or right hand side cupboards, you will find all these bits and pieces. So you're going to have your first aid kit, fire blanket, high vis, warning triangle, tire inflation kit, and a document folder at the back there. So the document folder will contain all the manuals to do with all the habitational parts of the vehicle and the manual for the front cab as well. In there, you'll also find your emergency contact telephone numbers and your accident report forms. Now, hopefully you won't need them, but they're there if you do, okay? There's also a wee leaflet there with some important information as well. Okay, so you have your seated area. This will convert into a little double bed as well if needed, and there are travel seats underneath there. We'll show you how the travel seats are assembled towards the end of the video. Television is situated in this area as well, and the TV remote is usually in the cupboard right above where the TV sits. Okay, lovely little kitchen area in this van. You have some extra workspace there if you need it, and then to drop it down, just pull the lever stuck from underneath. Get your bin there, your fire extinguisher. In this cupboard here, you'll find a little freestanding table, okay? So that can be used if you're sitting in that area there, just to put your food on, etc., and then store it away if you don't need it or you're traveling. Cooker. So you have a 3-burner gas hob here and 1 electric hob. Nothing too complicated with the gas. Just when your gas is on, push, turn, and then just pilot light. That will get it going. And if you are hooked up, then you can use the hot plate here. So if you are doing any cooking, please don't close the glass down until everything's cooled down, or else the glass will shatter. Light switches here for various lights around the van. By the time you come back, you'll have found all the light switches. 3-pin plug sockets. They will only work if you're hooked up to a campsite, as will your microwave, okay? So if you plug something in, won't work, you're not hooked up. Blinds then. Blackout blinds there, and if you pull that all the way to the top and go to the bottom again and pull it up, you have fly screens there as well, or you can split between the two. And then just your catches for your windows. Nice little sink, and then you have some storage underneath here, along with your grill and separate oven as well. Cupboard. Again, lots of storage in this van. Then your bedroom area, again, really nice. This one with the island bed. So again, 2 little small wardrobes with hanging space there, and then some cupboard space as well. Little spotlights. Bed does look a wee bit short there, but I'll show you a trick here. So it's just pushed way back just to give you a little bit more sort of floor space during the day. At night time, there's a grab handle here. You pull that, and then that just folds back. And you've got a really decent sized bed there. Really comfortable van to sleep in as well. And then when you're done, just push it back out of the way. So in the van, you'll notice there are some skylights. Okay, so same principle applies then for blinds at night time. You have a little fly screen there if it's open, and then you have your blackout blind for night time. Skylights are very, very easy to work. Push the button, that will release. Pull down and then just follow the track. Always remember, before traveling, make sure they're all closed. We'll just slides back in and clips back into place. Okay, just over to this side of the vehicle then, got your fridge, massive fridge. Okay, really good storage space, and your freezer box at the top there as well. So we always recommend this Dometic fridge. It'll always be an automatic. We'll leave it on automatic for you. Okay. That means whenever you're driving, it'll run off the vehicle battery. If you're hooked up to the electric, it'll automatically move to the electric. And if you're running off the gas, it'll automatically go to the gas. On the very slim chance that it defaults, just gets confused, you will hear it chirping like a little bird. So what you do is you come back over to the main power button, you hold it for a couple of seconds, and that should reset it. If it doesn't do it the first time, just try it again. Feeling all that, switch it off. Make sure you're hooked up or your gas is on, and then turn it back on again, and it should reset itself. So the last room in the vehicle then is the bathroom. So we'll take a wee look inside here. This is lovely. Okay, so you have a nice little dark wood cabinet up in here, and there's your shower curtain. You have your toilet. Okay, so the toilet does spin, so that whenever you're sitting on it, you have somewhere to put your feet. To use the toilet then, obviously open it up, and to the side here, there's a little grey lever. You open that lever and that will open the lid to the tank that I showed you earlier. Okay, so do whatever needs done, flush, close it back over. Okay, very important that you keep that closed when you're not using it. Just stops any smells coming back up through. It also means whenever you're parked up at a campsite and you're going to clean your tank out, that the lid is already shut on top of the tank. If you leave this open, you try to pull the tank out, you will break the tank. Okay, so again, open it, do what needs done, flush it, close it. Super little towel radiator in this vehicle as well. And then you have your shower head and your separate sink there as well. Okay, so we're going to run through the control systems on the vehicle. This is your main control panel and it's all digital, okay? So sometimes when you push these, they're not sometimes very reactive, so you can use the little wheel there to turn and it highlights each one of them, okay? So control panel on. The next one then will be the lights. So as soon as that comes on, you will find some lights will come on around the vehicle, and you'll find there are various light switches around the place that you can turn lights on and off. The third one here is a little light for outside, and then the last one is your water pump. Okay. So go back here and the home button. This will take you into other settings. So the first one is a little clock, and that will just take you back to the main home screen. Second one here is your leisure battery voltage. So we're sitting at 12.7 at the moment, which is very good. And within this one, you can just move down to the vehicle battery as well. So you don't need to worry about that because that will just charge itself when you're driving. And you can go back into your leisure battery, and then you can go back home, and you can go back home again. Okay. And again, you can do all this by a touch screen if it works. Sometimes it's a little bit temperamental. So again, we'll go with the wheel, it's easier. So back to this one here, the water droplets. This is your fresh water. At the moment, it's 79% full. So we'll give it to you 100% full. Dirty water, and then you're fresh. So we'll go back down here. Dirty water tank is empty at the moment. So whenever you are on your travels, after a few days, go in and check the status of your tank. If you're dropping way down, this one here will automatically start rising up. So, you know, whenever you need to fill your fresh, you need to empty your dirty at the same time. Again, go back home, go back to the clock, and go home. This one then is your heating system. So this is the Aldi heating system. This is a really good system. Switch it on. And that's your main controls there as well. Okay, so indoor, if you hit the house, this just shows you the internal temperature, the external and the internal. Okay, so if you were to have your heating on, it is set to go right up to a tropical 30 degrees there at the moment. So you can reduce that down to whatever temperature you want. Okay, back button. So the energy one here, this will be your heating on the electric or on the gas. So you can see here it says 1, 2 and 3 kilowatts. Okay, so it will depend on what the campsite is running. So you would need to double check with them. So if it's running at 3 kilowatts, then you would just move it up to 3, or if it's running on 2, you drop it down to 2. And then you just come back and set your temperature. And then that is you good to go. Oh, sorry, go back here again. If you decide you want to run it on gas, switch the electric one off, and then just open up the gas one, switch that one on, and that is you good for the heating on the gas. So hot water then, touch that one. At the moment it's off, on, or boost. Okay, so if you're wanting to shower first thing in the morning, first thing to do, come and put your water on. We would generally recommend just go straight on to boost, get your breakfast, get your coffee, but that stage then you should have enough hot water to get a shower. All you do is put it on there, and at the moment there it's set for 30 minutes. Okay, and you just go back out, and that is you. The hot water will start to kick in. Okay, you can see it there, the wee plus sign, it's starting to activate itself. So we'll switch it off. So the very important thing with the Aldi heating system is if you are running it off the gas or the electric, make sure you're either hooked up or you have your gas switched on before you start using this system. If it defaults, it is quite difficult to reset it, okay? So very, very important. Before you do anything with it, make sure you're either hooked up or your gas is on, okay? Menu button, you don't really need to worry about. It's just settings that we would sort before you would be leaving. Just here, this light switch, okay? This is an auxiliary fan. This fan will work even if the power in the back of the vehicle is switched off, okay? So if you hear it running, please turn it off. This will drain your leisure battery very, very quickly, okay? So that's why we have a sign on it here saying please keep it off. You don't necessarily need to use it even when the heating's on, because there are radiators and they will emit enough heat without using the fan. But on the off chance you do want to use it, please ensure you switch it off after use or you will drain your battery significantly quickly. Okay, so your travel seats then, if you're bringing anybody else with you, seat 3 and 4 underneath the lounge area. We've stripped all the pads off just to speed things up here a wee bit. So initially, lift this up. Okay, underneath here, there are little levers. Push those up. That will allow this to drop down. And the seat itself, okay, so start with the lever on the right-hand side. You need to pull this right up and lift the back of the seat. Okay, so you need to get a wee bit more on the seat belt here. Okay, just so you have enough there to get the seat as far forward as you can. Second one, lift that lever up and that will allow you to push this back. Okay, we'll sort that in a wee second. Seat base then is sitting quite low to the ground, so this does just swing out, lifts up, and then will hook in place right here. So you need to be very sure that your little grooves are caught in there, okay? And then back to this one again. That will allow you then to straighten up your seat. And your seat belt just clips in as normal. So taking it down again, simple, lift the seat up, swing it forward and swing it down underneath. And same again here, you can lift, drop that back a wee bit, not too far. This one up and drop that one down. And then again, just loosen the slack on your seatbelt, up and down. Seat disassembled. Okay, so to put this all back together then, and we're going to show you how to make the bed. Lift it back up, clicks in place and pull forward. So the bed part then, very simple on this vehicle. These two parts will just pull together and meet in the middle. So again, underneath, and just pull it out gently. So say the other one will meet in the middle. And then your seat pads, they will just fit in here. So you would lie on the flat side. You probably put that one in against the window first of all, and the same on this side, and that makes up a small double bed. Obviously feet this side and the main part of your body up this side because it is that little touch wider. So we just wanted to give you a quick look at the second layout that we have within the Platinum range. So as you can see, this one has a corner bed here, okay, as opposed to the other one having the island bed. So your bed, TV down here, and your bathroom then in this corner. Okay, so it is quite good because you still have a separate shower and toilet, which obviously the other one doesn't have. So that makes that a wee bit more unique. Full wardrobe here. Slightly different layout of your kitchen, and then your fridge freezer as well is two separate units there.